A new report from data management firm Harmony Healthcare IT shows that 61% of Generation Z have a medically diagnosed anxiety condition. The report includes a survey of about 1,000 Gen Zers, or adults 18 to 26, who struggle with anxiety about their anxious thoughts. And while experiencing anxiety is nothing new for Gen Z, more than half of the survey's respondents, 54%, said their anxiety has been worse this year. And out of those with anxiety, 43% said they experience a panic attack at least once a month, if not more frequently. The most common cause of their anxiety, the future. Almost half of the, they put half, but almost half of those surveyed said the future was their biggest worry, while 45% said it was finances. Almost 1 in 3 Gen Zers surveyed with anxiety said they use medication to help them manage the symptoms. On average, Gen Zers who take medication for anxiety started taking medication at 19. Of those Gen Zers who take medication, 83% said they take it daily. But many Gen Zers use other forms of coping mechanisms for their anxiety besides medication. Almost half, 48% of Gen Zers surveyed said they go on walks or hikes to manage their anxiety, while others paint, write, or play an instrument. The survey also showed that 2 out of 5 go to therapy, and 53% have gotten professional help, from mental health for mental health at some point. Unfortunately, many Gen Zers are also coping with their anxiety in less healthy ways. Over 40% of young people with anxiety said they indulged in eating unhealthy food to manage their stress, and 30% reported binge eating according to the survey. Meanwhile, 34% said they consume cannabis to cope with their anxiety, while 32% said they drink alcohol to manage. So, I find this extremely interesting because I think there's a lot of stuff that people are very correct to be concerned about, whether you're talking about finances or the future. And in a lot of cases, the future and finances go hand in hand because many people, myself included, worry, am I going to have enough money to uh, get food or gas? I live in the state with the largest price for gas, California. So I'm not surprised that those two things would be the highest reasons someone would feel anxiety. Although I should also say the future in general can just be an extremely bleak, dark um, thing to think about. I mean, you have people who are worried if they're ever going to meet someone, if they're ever going to rise above living paycheck to paycheck, if they are. Just there's so much stuff that because of that uncertainty, it makes a lot of sense as to why people would be stressed out about it. And as far as the coping mechanisms are concerned, I walk as well. Um, I find it to be something that kind of relaxes me in the sense that I guess sometimes when you're just filling out applications or maybe someone online is treating you like trash, to just be able to go out and get some fresh air, even if you don't speak to anybody that's walking by you or people don't say anything to you, whatever, to just be able to get outside, look at the sun, get some air. I wouldn't call it uplifting, but it's a nice change of pace from a lot of the other mundane, not exactly fun things that we're often having to do with such, again, with all of these different stressors that are around. The other one, where they say that people will paint, write, or play an instrument. I don't paint, but I draw. Um, I guess I'll put it this way. I think when people do things that they're accustomed to doing, like whether that's walking or painting or drawing or any of these other things that are mentioned here, I think it can get rid of, or not, or rather it can help with calming the anxiety by virtue of when you're in a place of familiarity, you're probably a lot less likely to be where it's kind of like how I mentioned during my stream today that I met this actress or whatever on Saturday, and I was very, had like a accelerated heart rate, just a feeling I don't normally get. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I'm just not used to encountering people that I would deem as being famous. And I was able to kind of like calm myself as I got away, or as later on in the day as things just kind of sunk in. I got more familiarized with it. So uh, I do believe those coping habits are good. The drinking and the cannabis use, I don't use either of those things myself, but I don't know. I've always said I'm okay, and I've always stressed this with people drinking, as long as it's done responsibly, as long as it's not while someone's trying to operate a vehicle, or just in excess. Um, but it makes sense because some people do drink away their, I'm using this phrase, drink away their problems, and I guess when they enter that alternate state of thinking, it kind of calms them down a little bit to sort of, it takes their mind off of the unfortunate things they have to deal with on a constant basis. So it's not something I would recommend. It's not something I endorse, but it is something I understand. Um, what else is there to say about this story? Now, as far as mental health professionals are concerned, I'm gonna just say this. People can get mad at me. I don't care. This is just my opinion. Um, I and I've said this a few times in the past. I think there are certain things that cannot be helped. So if somebody wants to go to a therapist, they have the right to do that. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't if they don't want to. They should do whatever they like to, whatever they think is going to help them. But my biggest issue with a lot of this stuff is, like, when I know specifically what types of things depress me, what types of things have me worried, much of it is stuff that a therapist just can't do anything about. I mean, if you're worried that, oh man, if I don't fly out to this other state and I can't go over there because I don't have the funds for it, this person I care about is going to pass before I can reunite with them. There's not really anything the therapist can do.